It's about time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my About Time Boxing family and my Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to everybody who has been taking out the time to watch my videos, like my videos, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I sincerely do. Thank you to everybody who has been responding to the video that I put up about Errol Spence and Pacquiao, because I do think that fight is going to be more complicated than people think. But if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please pass the word about Rashawn's About Time Boxing, and please subscribe to the channel, become part of the About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang. Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano. That fight. That fight. First, I want to get this out the way. For the idiot who said that Brian Castano looked like he was on something, just stop, okay? Just because some people do don't mean everybody does. I believe Castano trained hard, for that fight. And I did, in the video that I put up before the fight, I did say that I picked Charlo to stop him late in the fight. It didn't happen. I take my hat off to Brian Castano for giving a hell of a performance. It was a hell of a fight. I can see why it was a draw, but if they would have gave it to Castano, you couldn't be mad about that. You couldn't. And anybody who know me know I rock with the Charlos. I like them both. I told you, they my guys. I rock with the Charlos. But, like I said, you got to be honest about it. He was able to outbox Jermell Charlo, and Castano is not really known for his boxing because he's a pressure fighter. But if you notice in the fight, every time he was able to get off on Jermell Charlo was when Charlo back was against the ropes. And even in the video leading up to the fight, I said that Charlo cannot allow his back to be on the ropes, because Castano gonna try to pressure him. And I also said that them Argentinian fighters are not to be taken lightly. They can take a punch. I said that. And I mentioned Baldemir, and I mentioned Maidana. You know what I mean? They can take a punch, and they show up to fight. And they can go. And Castano was no different. He showed up, and he showed up to win. And he hurt Jermell Charlo early in the fight. You could see it. He buckled him. Charlo came back and hurt him later in the fight too. But if Jermell Charlo could have kept the fight in the middle of the ring and not allow Castano to back him down and always forcing his back against the ropes, because even Derek Charles told him, you gotta keep your back off the ropes, stay off the ropes. And listen, and a lot of people said Derek James, knew that Jermell was losing the fight. That's why he kept stressing that he needed a knockout. But pressure fighters can only get off if you allow them to back you up. Because if you notice, in the middle of the ring or away from the ropes, Castano wasn't as active. But the minute he cut, and that's why I said he's going to try to cut that ring off. I said that. And once they can cut that ring off, back you up into the ropes, that's when he's going to take his chance. And that's when he was taking his chances. And he was connecting. He was landing. So again, so he forced Charlo to fight his fight. But I will say this too, Jermell Charlo looked like he was a little gun shy. Like he was a little hesitant to, it looked like he was gun shy. Like he was, looked like he was scared to throw some punches. I'm not saying that he was, but I'm just saying, if you ever box, you know what that word, y'all know what gun shy mean. And he definitely looked like he was gun shy. Throughout the whole fight, I'm like, why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that? And Castano was basically executing everything he wanted to do. Cut the ring off, back him into the ropes and get off. Cut the ring off, back him into the ropes and get off. And that's what he was doing. And when Charlo was forced to exchange like that, he did, because Charlo really didn't want to exchange with Castano, because I think, he felt that Castano had some power, so he wanted to try to be smart about it, which is why they say it's a thinking man's game. But I know a lot of people feel like that Castano won the fight. Like I said, I can see why it was a draw, but if they would have given the fight to Castano, you couldn't be mad about it either. You couldn't. I hope that there's a rematch, though. I would love to see the rematch. And I was hoping that it would have been a rematch clause in the contract. But if there was, it was probably in place for whoever would have become the undisputed champion. Then the loser would get an automatic rematch in the next fight. It might have been something like that. But they should have had one for this, if in the event that nobody anticipated it to be a split decision draw. But and that 117-111. And I will say this, in the 10th round, Steve Weisfeld gave Jermell Charlo a 10-8 round, and Charlo won the last 3 rounds. Without that 10-8 round in the 10th and winning those last 3 rounds, facts is facts, Charlo wouldn't have won that fight. And I honestly think that it was the fact that not only did he win the last 3 rounds, that they gave him the last 3 rounds, but it was the fact that that 10th round was a 10-8 round for Charlo. If that round wasn't a 10-8 round for Charlo, he might not have won the fight. He had a lot of movement and all that, but all that movement means nothing if you're not landing anything. And Castano was, even when he wasn't landing, he just looked like the busier fighter. And judges sometimes tend to score that too. But the 117-111 for Charlo was off. That was off. That was off. So, but what do y'all think? Do y'all think Castano won the fight? Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Leave me some comments. Do y'all are y'all who's acceptive of the draw, and who feel like that Castano should be the undisputed champion? And how many of y'all think Jermell Charlo won? How many of y'all think that Charlo won? Who thinks he lost? Who thinks that Castano won, and who thinks that Castano lost? And who agrees with the draw? I want to know what y'all think. So, smash the like button. Let's get the comments coming. I want to know what y'all think. Tip my hat off to both fighters, but I tip my hat to Castano too, because he showed up and did what he wanted to do. He executed his plan, and he did not allow himself to be backed up. So, you got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? And here at Rashawn's About Time Boxing, we, there's no discriminating and none of that kind of stuff like that. We gonna be straight up like this, you know what I mean? So, shout out to you, Castano. You did your thing, man. You did, So again, like I said, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, leave the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Did y'all think Charlo won? Did y'all think Castano won? How y'all feel about the draw? And do y'all want to see a rematch? I would like to see a rematch. And if they do a rematch, I want to know how y'all think the rematch is going to turn out. So drop the comments, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what y'all think about Castano Charlo 2, and about the split decision draw, and how y'all feel about it. Do y'all think Castano should be undisputed, or should Charlo be undisputed, or the draw was a safe way to end the fight so that nobody gets upset? What do y'all think? Again, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave me those comments.